Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Millennium Stage. And now, please give a warm welcome to the United States Coast Guard Dixieland Jazz Band.
If it were an average Coast Guard day, the Coast Guard saved 10 lives, conducted 19 search and rescue missions, and intercepted over $26 million in illegal drugs. The Coast Guard stops drug runners every day. Today, the United States Coast Guard serves proudly on the front lines of the Department of Homeland Security, guarding over 95,000 miles of America's coastline and waterways. The United States Coast Guard is your maritime guardian.
Look down that long, lonesome road before you travel on.
Since 1790, the United States Coast Guard has been Semper Paratus, always ready for any emergency, such as in 1927, in the Great Flood of the Mississippi River Basin. The Coast Guard assisted over 400,000 people. And in 2010, in the Gulf of Mexico, where the Coast Guard was the lead agency in cleaning up the worst oil spill in United States history. The Coast Guard's always there for America, always ready, on the scene, with the right people, the right equipment, and the right partnerships for any emergency.
We're talking such a low, heading down that long, lonesome road. Hey, now look down that long, lonesome road before you travel along. Before you travel on, before you travel on.
We are very proud of our 226-year history and heritage of service. We're proud of our core values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty. This year, the Coast Guard celebrated the 100th anniversary of Coast Guard aviation. And this past September, the Coast Guard celebrated the 300th anniversary of Boston Headlight, America's first lighthouse. The Coast Guard's always there for America, giving it security, protecting its environment, and its economy. We are your maritime guardian. On the scene, United States Coast Guard.
Hello, Kennedy Center. How's everybody doing tonight?
We are the United States Coast Guard Dixieland Band, and we are so proud to be here during this holiday season at the Kennedy Center. I'd like to introduce the members of the band. On piano, we have musician first class, Robert Langslet. And back there on the drums, we have musician first class, Nathan Lassell. Kicking off the concert with his awesome trombone playing, we have musician first class, Sean Nelson. And the man who's an awesome vocalist as well as a trumpet player, musician first class, Tom Brown. And those sweet sounds of the clarinet you heard were from musician first class, Cedric Mayfield. I am Senior Chief Mark McCormick. I'm the bass player back in the engine room. We've got a great show for you tonight, and we are so happy that all of you can be here. And we are very, very proud to have a very special guest in the audience, two special guests. Please give a warm Kennedy Center welcome to the 25th Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, Admiral Paul Zukunft and Mrs. Zukunft. This is a classic New Orleans tune. It's called Make Me a Pallet on the Floor.
Won't you make me the palette on the floor? How about Mr. Robert Langston on piano? Now won't you make me the palette on the floor? Make it soft, make it low, so my sweet, sweet woman ain't gotta know. Won't you make me the palette on the floor? Hey, now why don't you make me the palette on the floor? Won't you make me the palette on the floor? Make it soft, make it low, so my sweet, sweet honey ain't gotta know. Won't you make me the palette on the floor? Cedric Mayfield. You make me a palette on the floor. I said make me a palette on the floor. Why don't you make it soft, make it low, so my sweet, lovely little lady ain't gotta know. Won't you make me a palette on the floor?
Cedric Mayfield on the clarinet, Robert Langslet on the piano, Tom Brown on the vocals, Make Me a Palette on the floor. You know, we're so proud of our service, the United States Coast Guard. There's so much history, so much to tell, and thinking about it, a lot of times, as you talk to Coast Guardsmen, they're very quiet about the things that happened and the heroic things that have been performed by the wonderful men and women in our service. And I'd like to take a couple of moments to just tell you about a couple of absolutely astounding historical rescues that took place that you may or may not have known about. The first rescue that was absolutely astounding took place in the 19th century when the United States Coast Guard was still the United States Revenue Cutter Service. In that time, whaling was just a huge industry. And up in the Arctic, there were 3 whaling ships that got stuck in the ice. And it looked like a tragedy. Nobody knew how to get to the crew. They were up in Point Barrow, Alaska, which is pretty much about as far north as you can get. So, President McKinley at the time said, we're going to go get these men. The Revenue Cutter Service said, aye, aye. And a Coast Guard cutter, the Bear, dropped off the Coast Guard crew 1,500 miles away from where they were going to rescue these whalers in Point Barrow. It's an amazing rescue. They started in December. They herded over 400 reindeer because the sailors, they knew up there were going to need sustenance because this was going to take a long time. They trekked 1,500 miles overland and finally reached these whalers in March after 3 months of just harrowing conditions. If you saw DC today, kind of pales in comparison to what these men experienced. But they did it. And at the end of the day, this particular Coast Guard rescue only lost 1 person. And that's a tribute to our service. So the tribute right there is to the United States Revenue Cutter Service, the precursor to the Coast Guard. The next rescue that I'd like to talk about is one of our favorite places, the Dixieland Jazz Band, so to speak. And that's New Orleans. And in 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans very, very hard and the surrounding areas. The Coast Guard was there, and it is an amazing story underlying because it was, as you can well imagine, just an incredibly involved logistical operation. But we're proud of our Coast Guard and the men and women who performed that rescue, because one of the unspoken things that was done was helicopter crews, logistical crews, they were coming in from all over the country. And they had to match up with each other. Crews were not the same on helicopters. And it was Coast Guard training, this redundancy that's built into our wonderful service, that made things efficient and timely. And at the end of the day, the Coast Guard in Hurricane Katrina saved over 33,000 people. It's quite a feat. Now, us in the Dixieland Jazz Band, we like to say also that during that time, the Coast Guard saved jazz. So in tribute to that, we're going to do a longer New Orleans set of some of the most famous New Orleans tunes, and we hope you enjoy them. We're going to start with Down by the Riverside.
sorrow down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by that riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sorrow by the riverside and study war no more. Well, I ain't gonna study war no more. No study war no more. Say study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. No study war no more. Say study war no more. Sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside and study war no more. Well, I ain't gonna study war no more. Say gonna study war no more. Study war no more, no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Gonna study war no more. Gonna study war no more. Mother, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna meet my loving mother, down by the riverside and study war no more. Well, I ain't gonna study war no more, no study war no more. Say study war no more, no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. No study war no more. Say study war no more. Come on, boy. Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my yo. Me gotta go pull the P-road down the bayou. My Yvonne, sweetest one, me oh my yo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. 'cause tonight I'm gonna see my Michelle amigo. Pick guitar, fill through jar, and be gay, yo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Sean Nelson. Places buzzing, kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozen. Dress in style, go hog wild and be gay, yo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see my Michelle amigo. Pick guitar, fill through jar and be gay, yo. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. your flag boy sitting by the fire. My flag boy told your flag boy gonna set your flag on fire. You're talking about hey now, hey now, hey now. Waka waka Chacamorfino anane, Chacamorfinane. See that boy dressed in red, waka waka. Bet you $5 will kill you all. Chacamorfinane, talking about him now. Hey now, waka waka Chacamorfino anane, Chacamorfinane. Sitting on the bayou. My grandma told your grandma gonna set your tail on fire. Talking about him now. Hey now, I go ane. Chacamorfino anane, Chacamorfinane. See that boy all dressed in green. I go ane. He's not a man, he's a loving machine. Chacamorfinane. Talking about him now. Hey now, waka wane, Chacamorfino anane, Chacamorfinane. Your flag boy gonna set your flag on fire. Talking about him now. Hey now, Chacamorfino Chacamorfino anane, Chacamorfinane. See that boy all dressed in blue. Waka wane. He can play that piano the whole night through. Chacamorfinane. Talking about him now. Hey now, waka wane. Chacamorfino anane, Chacamorfinane.
Robert Langston on the piano, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Nelson on the trombone. Tom Brown on the vocals and trumpet. Cedric Mayfield, clarinet and saxophone. Starting us off on the tune, Nathan Lassell on the drums. I'm Mark McCormick on the bass. We just love New Orleans music so much, we could just be here playing it all night. There's so many different styles. There's so much history to this music. We'd like to continue now with one of our favorites. It's actually one of my favorites, too. It was written by a very famous bass player named Bob Haggart, who was in the Bobcats. Does anybody remember the Bobcats? Anybody out there? Bing Crosby and the Bobcats? Bob Crosby? Well, Bing sat in with him. He did. He did. But it was Bob Crosby's band. Little brotherly love there. But we're going to do this tune. and it is a New Orleans classic. It is called The South Rampart Street Parade. the South Rampart Street Parade. We'd like to continue now with that most famous of all Dixieland jazz songs. Possibly. Let's keep them in suspense. I'm sure you'll guess it. Here we go, gents.
Go marching in, oh, when those saints go marching in. Oh Lord, I want to be in that number when those saints go marching in. Oh, when that sun refuses to shine, oh, when that sun refuses to shine. Oh Lord, I want to be in that number when that sun refused to shine.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Langsland on the piano. Sean Nelson on the trombone. Tom Brown on the trumpet and the vocals. Mr. Cedric Mayfield on the clarinet and the tenor saxophone. Nathan Lassell on the drums. I am Mark McCormick on the bass. We are the United States Coast Guard Dixieland Jazz Band. Happy holidays, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.